Thanks to the supporters and channel members, Shadowhawk19. Well, it's the start of a new era here at Wembley. Our takeover has finally gone through. Our debt, or at the very least, our overdraft has been cleared. We've still got that stupid mortgage for the rest of the save, but the overdraft has been cleared, and we have a backdoor Kev opportunity to sneak our way into the playoffs, just to show the new chairman how cool we are. And I love showing people how cool I am. It's the main reason I make these YouTube videos. And welcome to part 36 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the final two games of the regular season. We're away against Enfield and at home against Beckenham. We're also in really, really good form. It's possibly our best patch of form in the entire season. Certainly in the league. I mean, obviously we won a lot of consecutive games there, but a lot of them were in the cup. So I actually think in terms of consecutive league wins, we're in good form. It might not quite be the best, but it's the best for a while. Best for a long while. It leaves us in this situation in the league with 2 games to go. We're 4 points behind Phoenix Sports, who are at the bottom of the playoffs, but everybody above us has played one more game than us. So if we beat Enfield, we move up to 1 point behind Phoenix Sports going into the final day of the season. And on that final day of the season, we are at home against Beckenham, while Phoenix Sports are away against Enfield. So Enfield are going to have a lot to say when it comes to how the playoffs shape up for this season. But Enfield are down in 14th place. Beckenham are down in 12th place. They're 2 matches based on the form we're in. We should be able to win. I'll say should because I've not loaded up this save for about 3 weeks. This is the first video I've recorded since returning from my holiday. So there is a chance that Football Manager's going to punish me. Have there been any updates while I've been away? Is the tactic just going to stop working? That'll be very upsetting if that's the case. But none of that is even the main news. The main news of the episode is that our takeover has finally gone through. You can see just how many failed takeover bids there have been, going back about 18 months now. What's that? 2, 3 failed takeover bids. But finally, we have our new chairperson, Scott Davis, local businessman, has taken over as chairman. Our overall balance is, I mean, I think actually because of the cup run, we didn't have an overdraft anyway. So I said in the intro that our overdraft was cleared. I did that, didn't I? It's all coming back to me now. I cleared the overdraft with a cup run. The new guy's come in and done nothing. What's he here for? We've still got the £550,000 overdraft. He's done. Is he going to let me go on a coaching course? No, he's already said no to that as well, has he? Brilliant. So I'm wanted. It's nice we want it. Harrogate want me. I mean, that says a lot about how much we're consistently continuing to overperform in this save. I can't click on it. But Harrogate are what? National League? Harrogate are bottom of the National League. But still, you know, I'm very proud of the fact that bigger clubs want me. But we're here to make things happen at Wembley. So we need to beat Enfield. If we can beat Enfield, then we certainly make the second half of this episode a lot more interesting. Where are Enfield, I hear you cry? Well, they're here in North London is the answer to that. Hovering around next. There's a lot of water. Is that a river? What's this? There's a whole river leading out of London. But there we've got Enfield, who look like they just kind of play in a park. It's an athletic stadium. That's horrible. What a horrible situation having to play in an athletic stadium that apparently has an interiors company based in the bush behind the stadium. You can also get your car valeted in the club car park, which is nice. Let's have a little look out the front of the Enfield and Harringay Athletics Club. So I think football is probably a little bit of an afterthought here. That guy, very surprised. Whoa, the Google car's here. Who let them in? He has no idea what's going on. Muns Limited, absolutely delighted with all the advertising that they've got. But there is just confirmation. Enfield Town Football Club, members of the Ryman Premier League. I mean, that's not the league we're in now, so that suggests they've had a relegation. We've also got something blurred out there. I don't know what that is that's been blurred out. Can we move down a little bit and see what they've blurred out? That window. That window got blurred out for some reason on one of the shots. Can we have a look at the pitch? Enfield, yeah. So although it's called the Athletics Club, there's no mention of an athletics club outside. It all mentions Enfield Town FC. Can we get any closer to the pitch? I don't know that we can. Is there a gap? Can we see? We want to see grass. There you go. A lovely Coca-Cola sign. And there is a little bit of a football pitch in there. that does have an athletics track running around it. We just saw that from the aerial view. But, I mean, that's a decent little facility, isn't it? Hopefully, there's also a glamour hub. What do I want to know what a glamour hub is? Hair extension technician. Thank good. I mean, I'm recording this in the morning. It's coming out. I don't have time to do a lot of editing on this one. If I'm promoting the wrong kind of glamour hub, that's going to lead to editing I don't want to have to do. Get back into Football Manager quickly. So, bottom line, must win. This is the team that we're sending out there. It is Agu in goal, a back four of Chadder, Drakos, Duffy and Leroy. Davies and Macaulay in midfield. Butterfill, Wright and Best supporting Anton Canerva up front. Anton Canerva, by the way, down to just 1 star of current ability now. At what point do we ignore... I mean, he's the worst player at the club. But... he's played 139 games and scored 61 goals for us. He's got a career average of a 7.12. He's our top scorer again this season, certainly as a striker. I think Jamie Sant outscored him. But Sant's another one who's only 2 stars of current ability. I think we just have to take, like we have done throughout the entire save, take the star ratings with a pinch of salt, because obviously they are done by coaches that are rubbish. The people who are judging those star ratings... if we have a look at what staff that we've got, I mean, our staff is rotten, goodness me. But if we look at our coaching team and their judging ability, I don't go into these screens very often. I've got the best judging ability, which is terrifying. But the actual next best judging ability, he's not. The guy, so my assistant manager is the guy who's allocating those star ratings. Jacob Parker has got a judging current ability of 2. So absolutely take those star ratings with, like, not even a pinch of salt. Enough salt to give you blood pressure higher than mine is what you need to be doing there, because he hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. We would have more accurate star ratings if we just randomly picked them out of a tombola. Let's go and play Enfield and hopefully win. Because if we don't win, it does kind of take some of the sting out of the second half of the episode if there's no way for us to get into the playoffs. We need some jeopardy here. So fingers crossed, that's exactly what we're going to have delivered to us. Like I say, I don't think there's been an update. I didn't notice when I loaded the game up that there was any kind of update. I actually had my PC turned off while I was away, so it would have done it when I turned the PC on. It's very rare for my PC to be turned off. I actually went to my computer this morning, couldn't remember where the button was. It was underneath this. This was hiding the on button to my PC. But it's so rare for me to turn the thing on or off that I just didn't know it was there. I genuinely spent a good 15 seconds trying to work out how to turn my computer on because it just never gets turned off normally. Oh dear. We're already losing. This, like I say, it very much takes the plan for the episode away if we balls this up. We've not looked very good there, have we? The form that we were in 3 weeks ago, you would have expected us to come out with something today. But if we lose here, we actually officially can't get into the playoffs. So it does very much spoil things. So let's immediately demand more. The players haven't seen me for ages. I've walked in and I'm making demands of them now. Oh, he's come back all unreasonable. So it seems I'm being punished for not playing the game. We've all been there. We know this is nothing to do with my skill or ability playing Football Manager. This is absolutely superstition and curse. I've not loaded the game up for several weeks, so I'm now being punished because that's a much more satisfactory explanation for my ego than the alternative. We're going to go attacking. And, I mean, it's pretty much already all over, isn't it? Are we all looking forward to a transfer special tomorrow? I'm delighted that I have to record one of them my first day back at work. They take hours to do. Have we got any money? We've not got any money to spend, have we? That makes it a little bit quicker. Oh, my word. Right, what on earth can we do here? We've not had a shot on target. We need to score from this corner if we're going to have any hope at all of making this interesting. Drakos nods it down. It falls to Davies. It's back out with Chadder on the right-hand side, who comes in onto his stronger foot, but then just kind of skips over the ball and doesn't even have a shot. Leroy now playing it forward to Drakos, and now Davies to Leroy again. I mean, this is decent possession. We need to make something of it. Tom Best takes the ball under control. I mean, I don't know how it's gone in, but it has. Best is best. It's an own goal, but Best making it all happen. And I mean, I don't even know how they've let this one sneak past them. So Best picks the ball up there, does really well to go past his man, then kind of lets them back in again and passes it to their goalkeeper, who inexplicably doesn't notice, and the ball kind of trickles under him. I'm not going to argue with how it's happened. The important thing is that it has. If we can now grab another one before half time, we do make things a little more interesting again. 2-1. It's all to play for. Come on, let's do a football in the second half. Who have we got on the bench who could come on? We have got Jamie Sant on the bench who could potentially come on and make a little bit of a difference. He's kind of the only attacking change that we've got. So we're not gonna use him straight away, but he he will definitely be a man who is thrown onto this football pitch fairly early in this second half if we're still chasing a goal, because we know, of course, Sant has a goal in him. I'm not sure why Paskev didn't even have him in the team. I've trusted Paskev. I've come in this morning, looked at the fact that we're on an unbeaten run, we're on a winning streak, and Paskev's already picked the team. So on the basis of all of that, I just decided to trust the man. And as ever, he's proved incredibly untrustworthy. And now we've got Sant, our top scorer, just sat there on the bench. And our main striker, Canerva, I've not even noticed him today. Maybe now I've freshened myself up. Now I've had a little bit of time away from the save and come back in again. Maybe I just bin Canerva off this summer. You lot will riot, because you should. I've just done that whole bit about star ratings. I just want a 30-goal-a-season striker. I thought that had gone in. The ball whistled past as the little thing at the bottom of the screen came up, and I thought it was flashing to tell me there was a goal. I was about to leap out of my seat. Come on, boys. We need to do a football. Let's get Sant on. I know this is early for me. I'm going very early here, but Chris Wright is... I don't even know if I remember Chris Wright. Does anyone remember Chris Wright? He doesn't look very good, does he? Signing from Brentford. What's happened there? How much are we paid for him? Why is he rubbish? He needs to sort himself out over the summer, but Sant is on and hopefully can come on and make some things happen. I can't demand more again. We've actually been the better team now. We're creating more chances, have the better XG. As ever, we're controlling possession like we always do, but we just don't have the goals to show for it. It's the same old story over and over again. We need that striker that we've just... It's been the big difference between this and every other of these lower league road to glories I've ever done. In all of those ones, we've found the guy that fires us up the league. And in this save, we still haven't found him. What, 5 seasons in? We've put a lot of faith in Canerva for a long time. And yeah, it's nice that he's got 13 goals. I mean, it looks good. He's always in double figures for goals. But when you really think about it, if we're playing with a lone striker, the man doesn't even score a goal every other game. At this level, I mean, we had it flashed up on the screen momentarily at the start of the episode. But goal scorers, top goal scorers in these leagues at this level get 30 goals, and you get 4 or 5 of them in the league. And we've never had one. And we've got to get one of them. That should be easy enough to find. That's my goal for the summer. Burton Jones is going to come on. I can't imagine he's going to make very much of a difference. We need to do something. Can we do something? I just want to scream, do something at them. Won't somebody do something? Camera's going to come on. He's always good for a corner delivery. So maybe he can do something from a set piece. Best's got in behind again here, but can't find anyone in a red shirt, and the move just kind of peters out once again, and it's going to be Drakos coming along to cover. We've got 10 minutes left in this game. I feel like we should probably go all out attacking, but as we all know, that's just going to stop the highlights from happening. Here is Canerva playing for his shirt at this point. Anton Canerva has scored. Never doubted him for a minute. He's offside. He is pathetic. He's done this summer. We're replacing Canerva. Let's go very attacking. We're demanding more again, and the season is effectively over here. We'll just be playing for a certificate on the last day of the season. You finished 7th certificate, or maybe even finish 6th if we have a massive goal swing, or Southall lose. I cannot believe after the form we've been in. I mean, I can, because I've played Football Manager after a break before. I know this happens. Blame the RNG. Never blame yourself, boys and girls. Right, let's get this Beckenham game played, and we can start putting together some kind of plan for the summer transfer window, which we now know will be tomorrow. No playoffs for us this year. Right, as we have nothing to play for, we're doing the traditional end of season shuffle everything around. I love the fact that even Selection Advice has this built into the game now, so I don't even have to think about rotating for the final day of the season, because I can click that and the game does it for me. Love that button. So Clayton is going to come in goal, who has played 10 games this season and probably going to be replaced this summer, but we'll have a look at him. Mike Kemmerer, one of probably the biggest young hope that we've got at the club, not quite lived up to what he did that first season that he broke through. He, of course, had that big injury, but let's give him an opportunity to get himself a couple of assists today. Drakos and Duffy together at the back with Wood at right back, Burton Jones and Macaulay in midfield, and then Taylor comes back in again on the left-hand side. Now he's fit again, right, and Canerva then supporting Butterfield up front. Butterfield, who we've brought in and only really used out wide, is officially a natural striker, so maybe he's the guy. Let's give him an opportunity to knock some goals in up front, maybe. I don't know. It does mean Best rests, but we know that Best is going to be part of next season's team unless someone takes him away from us. The rest of this, we are just trying to figure out what to do, so we're having a look at some of the fringies. One thing I think I have decided to do, having had a proper look at the staff for the first time in about 4 seasons, I think I'm just going to sack them all. I'm trying to figure out what the downside would be just to sacking all of my staff and trying to replace them with ones that aren't rubbish. It might be tricky to pay them off. I don't know if my director of football will have already gone and renewed a load of contracts, but assuming we've got contracts that are expiring at the end of the season, we could probably bin off the whole lot of them and try and get in some actual legitimate adults to try and help me out in this job. I'm basically doing this on my own. If the next best guy at the club for judging ability has got a 2 out of 20 for doing that, I am effectively a one-man band paying a staff of 30 people or however ridiculous amount it is. Well, I think we've got a loan manager. There are things we could probably do to be a little bit more efficient on the staffing front at this football club. We've already binned off the youth system. A lot of those youth players will be leaving this summer, so we'll be freeing up some squad spots. There'll be more money appearing from there. We've obviously got the cup run money as well, so I'd like to think our budgets will go up a little bit. If we bin off most of the staff and only replace them with guys we actually need, we really will start to be making some steps towards efficiency. I do love this passing football that we played, though. That we play, not played. We're going to continue playing this. I think, on the whole, the possession system has worked pretty well this season. As a newly promoted team that was supposed to get relegated with a bunch of players who are... That's lovely from Butterfield. He's the man. But as a newly promoted team that was supposed to get relegated with a team full of 1- and 2-star players, the fact that we were still in with a chance of getting into the playoffs with 2 games to go shows just how well the system is working. So that side of things, I don't think we can complain too much about. So we just need to keep doing the stuff that's working, i.e. playing the good football. Hope that we can find a striker who's going to get 30 goals for us. I don't think it's Butterfield, even though that was a good finish. He's another guy who, although he's played a lot of his football out wide, he has had opportunities to play up front, and he's similar to Canerva, scoring at less than a goal every 2 games. I need someone who's going to score every time he plays a football match. I need a 6'5" monster who's good at taking penalties, who's just going to get a goal of some kind every match, whether it's nodding in a corner, scoring a penalty, or actually getting on the end of a cross or a through ball. We need someone who can just blow the entire budget on that guy and then watch him snap his ACL in pre-season. But I think that's what this team needs. We can play good football. We can create lots of chances. You saw in the last game, we had better XG than Enfield, but it's been an ongoing frustration that we keep out XGing teams, but we don't have that cutting edge. Shall we do the thing? I haven't done the thing this season. Let's see where we'd be in the XG league table. See if I'm talking absolute waffle or not. How do you do it? So stages, XG table. Just edit that out. Edit that bit out. That made me look like a buffoon. So I still think we need a striker. I refuse to let statistics and facts get in the way of over-the-top opinions. We need a non-league Erling Haaland, and it shouldn't be that hard to find. Right, Wood with the cross, looking for Taylor at the far post. He can't get onto the end of it, and it falls to Kemmerer, who he's going to try and conjure something from deep. Gives it to Burton Jones. It's back with Kemmerer again. We know he can hit a beautiful cross. Decides to play it in for Taylor instead, who slides it across goal to Wright, the former Brentford man, who has 2 bites of the cherry and still can't score a football goal, which is alarming to say the least. Butterfield So we try and, I mean, I've done a pause because the doorbell rang, and then the corner is already being taken as I unpause, and we didn't score from it anyway. So that's a little bit of a shame. Kemmer, has he got himself sent off here? Goodness me. Looked like a wild kick out at the opposite. I tell you what, Kemmerer is involved in absolutely everything. Right, back to Kemmerer again, and he slides it into Butterfield. Butterfield scored again. I say he might. Is he the man? I mean, he's under contract for next season, so either way, he's going to be a man that we have at the club who can play up front or out wide. Maybe with the right service, he could score an absolute ton of goals for us. But I don't know. Do we bin off Canerva? That's the big question. Is Canerva getting in the way of players like him playing more football matches? For example, in the previous match, we had to play Butterfield out wide because Taylor was injured. So we didn't really have the option of playing Butterfield up front. So Canerva had to come in and play up front. But I don't know, would things have been different if we'd have had a different go? I mean, we could have played Canerva wide and Butterfield up front. That certainly would have been an option. Best is going to come on for Canerva here. Sant is going to come on for right. Probably a final appearance for Jamie Sant. I don't think we're going to be able to sign him permanently. We have tried previously. He's not interested in joining us permanently. To be honest, he falls into the same category as Canerva in that he looks good in the match engine, and statistically, I mean, he scores more goals than anyone else at the football club. That's quite a good thing. But if you actually look at his star rating, which we are going to get a guy in who can judge that properly, but if we look at those star ratings, he's not good enough to play for the team. So do we start trusting our staff and stop pushing the likes of Canerva, who my staff have been telling me forever isn't good enough? Jack Butterfield's got a hat-trick. He is definitely trying to demonstrate that he is the man to play centre forward for us next season, isn't he? And I mean, this has been a jolly convincing way of doing it. It's been a convincing game from us all in, really. We've done a rotated team and we've looked really good. I know Beckenham aren't great league position wise, but they're not relegation fodder, and they're actually above Enfield, who've just beaten us in the previous match. So, well, they are again. They're the same quality as Enfield, and Enfield just beat us. So if we'd have played this team against Enfield, we might be in the playoffs tomorrow. As it is, that's not what's happened. I mean, this is more like the kind of form that we were experiencing before I decided to not load the game up forever. So I don't know. This is a little bit more representative of how good I think we are. Maybe we don't need a huge rebuild. Maybe what we need is just to bring in a few guys in key areas and push the likes of Best and Butterfield. And this youngster, Wright, who's come in from Brentford, I mean, maybe with a pre-season and a bit more experience under his belt, I'd like to think he'll end up being any good and we could actually have a pretty solid attack. I'm hopeful for next season. I'll be even more hopeful if we hit the continue button now and our budgets have gone up. Let's see if the new chairman can put his money where his mouth is. How ambitious is he? How confident is he in my ability as a football manager? Let's have a little look, shall we? I think we should get the budget straight away. So there's your confirmation. We finished 7th for the season, which is an overachievement. And we don't have budgets yet, which is unfortunate. I'll just let my assistant handle that. We trust him. No reason not to trust him. Can we see budgets, please, before tomorrow? There you go. Budgets are in. Camera's taken a wage hike all the way up to £25 a week. Goodness me. That man can get even more undercuts now. But initial budgets, I think our budget was about $2,400 a week wage budget previously. If it's at least that, we should be fine. I'd like to think it's gone up based on the cup run that we've had. Give me £5,000 a week and I promise you a trophy. It's exactly the same. I mean, worse things could have happened, I guess. It's exactly the same. We can shove that down there as well and make it a little higher. I think we should be okay. What I don't understand is why we're still showing as insecure finances when our balance is that, our projections are generally quite solid. Yes, I imagine our debt to earnings ratio isn't great, but I don't think Football Manager particularly analyses that kind of thing. And if that's the case, we've still got 24 years paying that back. So we're just going to be insecure forever, no matter what our actual bank balance is. It kind of defeats the object of taking out the loan in the first place if we're always going to be considered insecure as a result. But I mean, next season, or this season, we made a profit. We're not even making huge losses for the next 2 years. I think financially we're actually doing okay. That fills me with confidence because by then we should be a league or two higher, and fingers crossed we never go back into the red. That's a very ambitious goal. Transfers tomorrow. Let's go spend loads of money that we don't have. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching. Also, don't forget, the streams are back tonight. East 5 back on Twitch tonight, 7 o'clock. Probably could have mentioned it a little earlier in the episode, but that is back tonight on Twitch, which means you'll have a LOLLUJO 2 video in a couple of days as well, so you can all stop whinging over there. Lovely, lovely, lovely.